Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're going to continue on to the next main story mission. And we're just gonna go do stuff. I think I went the wrong way. There we go.
Thanks, Hunter. My lucky day, huh?
I have no earthly idea what the sparring thing does, to be quite honest with you.
I want you to know I understand what you're going through. Fighting your own mother's not easy.
It does me no good to think of Lilith as my mother. She is the enemy of all existence. That is more important to me than any bond we might share.
That's easy to say right now. It's a lot harder when you're
Huh.
looking in the eyes.
You speak from experience.
You know, I should probably pay attention a little bit more to the
That's why we're
story.
talking right now. A vampire bit
Uh.
her while she was in labor. She turned.
Because I did not realize Lilith was my character's mother.
Bloodsuckers. I always knew I might run into her one day.
And were you ready?
No one's ready for something like that. Listen, all I'm saying is that fighting Lilith won't be easy for any of us. But for you, it's gonna be hell. I just want you to be ready when the time comes.
Count on it.
You should be more careful.
Your sense of humor is deliciously wicked.
What can I say? It comes easily. Hey, can I ask a favor? Thanks, Hunter.
Okay, that was, Not glad. That seemed a little pointless, to be honest with you.
And you're making an impression on your teammates. Make sure you let them know how you feel about their efforts, too. They'll appreciate a kind word from the legendary Hunter.
Yeah, I get Spider-Man. Of course, everyone's on their phones.
I would be rotting inside that creature's gullet if not for Spider-Man. Time to return the favor.
We'll find him. We're running facial recognition on every surveillance camera in the cloud.
Now,
Just keep moving too fast.
William McKinley, when he ran for president, it's a little complicated because, look, biographers tend to think that he had no ambition to become president, yada yada. He was content where he was. His career arc says something very different. I think he was eyeing it for quite a while. He had consolidated a lot of influence within his gubernatorialship in at Ohio, and he was pretty much friends with everyone. He had good relationships with everyone, even though he had his enemies. When the convention came around in 1896, he ended up becoming really the front runner. It was a highly contested election. The Republicans in the South and in parts of the Northeast basically kind of held it a little bit hostage. But ultimately, they ended up. He ended up just pretty much taking it after numerous times of just voting effectively or ballots, and he ended up basically getting the nomination for the 1896 Republican. He's level 2. Yeah, let's put Iron Man here. It was kind of just random. Yeah. Okay.
Any part of Manhattan will still be standing when we get there?
The way Venom was wrecking things, I doubt it.
Someone's got damage control.
Venom has taken
Running, running, running.
and he's tossing just about anything he can find onto the streets below. Innocent people
Now, because the economic times were so bad, it was basically, you know, who do you choose as the individual in terms of the economic realities. I think McKinley was more of a gold standard person, but ran on a platform of gold and silver. And then his opponent, William Jennings Bryan, a very fascinating man. William Jennings Bryan is. He deserves his own. You know, he's like the Democratic powerhouse of his particular time and era. Really influential to what the Democratic Party ultimately would become. I think in a lot of good ways, in a lot of bad ways. A lot of bad ways, but very fascinating individual. He was radical in his silver. He was radical in his ways of. He was very pro-silver. He was anti-bank in just about every single way, shape, and form. He was, I think, in a lot of ways, a bit of a true radical. But ultimately, William McKinley had more money. William McKinley was the old school, safe choice in a lot of ways. Because a lot of people looked at him. He was campaigning the same ways that okay, we gotta rescue people now. Huh. What the? Okay. Target will be KO'd. Chained to another target.
I cannot fathom why one of my mother's fallen is so obsessed with
Let's go Spider-Man. That's my boy.
We need to get these people out of his way.
I saw a move like that once, centuries ago.
Dang it. That's my boy Spidey.
Don't worry, I got you.
Wait, does it actually hurt Spidey? Oh, I thought it's like a knockback. Ugh. That's not good. That's not what I was trying to do.
That was awesome.
Iron Man. Let's move you over here. There we go.
We have the upper hand. Engaging targets.
Think that's gonna leave a mark?
Sure, just keep throwing bodies at the problem. Sir, for authority.
Okay, now what can I do? What does the mark target do again?
must not have left instructions for Hydra on how to control her new pet. Can't say I feel sorry for them, but there's still civilians trapped here too.
I can hear it too, talking in my head.
It's a comm system, the same one I activated in your suit.
Right, that was gonna be my next guess.
There we go, Iron Man.
You're safe. Now get moving.
Civilians are clear. It's open season on Hydra and their pet monstrosity.
They will be the next to fall in the hunt.
Wow. Did you ever work with a guy named Craven?
Hail that!
You're not holding back.
Wait, why would I do that? Let's see what happens.
We hit up that Chinese buffet over in Bushwick. My treat.
All the food we need is right in front of us.
So I'll probably hurt that guy. Boom.
Confidence high. That should get you going.
Now this election's interesting. McKinley does win the popular vote, but
Don't leave any Hydra
what the heck? Gained 6 heroism. That'll help.
I don't do this for just anyone.
I hope you are building one of those suits for me. Slow me down.
Let's move Spidey over here. This turn. Now this election's interesting because McKinley wins the popular vote, wins the electoral college, but I think Brian actually wins the most states. He wins the entire Midwest.
I'll make it quick.
Draws 2 cards, gain 1 fast. Spider-Man.
I'm on it.
You know what this does, but
Love the effort.
Follow my lead.
Shouldn't have pissed me off.
let's just end this guy real quick. Or almost end him. Wow.
They must have a really good programmer.
Oh crap, where are you throwing that at? My bad, Tony.
I'm going.
I am impressed.
Let's get you some help, Spider-Man.
I want to know what was in that.
Not good. Not good.
All alone here.
Now, this election is interesting because I think this is one of the first elections where a lot of people, it's not like people don't have, a say in things. But I think this election in particular was like the first where, people, in a long time, because people were probably more so along, and not just, the big wigs, the founding fathers, the politicians, but like people had opinions. People had like real civil discussions about the future of this country, and a lot of people, and you can actually see the Streets of Fallen Venom. Oh, this mission's not over yet. Well, this is not good. Oof. Which one was this? No. Okay. I need heroism points. Okay. So move you here. It really was one of the first where people were having discussions, and it was a real foundational difference since probably the Civil War in a long time, where there were actual real, it was like a realignment of how things were within the country. I think the Midwest is largely like Democratic now, the Northeast, and part of the West Coast had solidified as Republicans. Like, it's a real shift in how things are going within the political see that, within how the country's effectively going.
That's like a promotion, right? Can I be a captain too?
You were too weak for this fight.
This one's for you. This should help.
And I think, again, this is just the difference in like the North and the South, just how the country wanted to be run. But this is probably the election that really changes things in terms of how it's ultimately going and how it's shifting. Midwest, more agricultural based, more farmers. They need more money. Meanwhile, big business is a thing, and this leads to aggressive, increased industrialization to compete with the rest of the world that they wish to continue.
He's bad. You should see Jameson if he doesn't get it more
Spider-Man. Shift you over here. Make him hit that. Suck it.
No time to lick our wounds.
This should be good.
nothing but a scratch. That's not good. Okay.
Guess we're not.
How do I get myself free from this gunk?
Save you from us, little spider. Not heroes, not puny soldiers. We will never stop until you are ours.
I believe him. We need to put an end to this fight soon before he breaks down the entire city.
I'm basically trying to make sure that I don't have additional attacks on me, so I'm just gonna keep doing that.
Just got knocked the fuck out. You know the rest.
I do have... I can move. Lord, you're fast. War of attrition, people. And basically, William McKinley's gonna win out because, despite the... Despite the popularity of William Jennings Bryan, especially in the Midwest, there is just too much support for the Northeast, and specifically, excuse me, New York, Pennsylvania, all those more industrialized places, for them to
Got a friend in need here. Well, damn. That does sting.
basically lead the direction of the country. And depends on how you want to look at it. This is free. Let's get Spider-Man back in here.
That is about to come.
Oh, sorry, Eddie. Think you're just picking up a whiff of garlic from DeCarlo's. Tell you what, call off this ending the world thing. Lunch is on me.
I thought that was supposed to be the tough.
And he's down. Oh, come on, people. Can I just, like, shoot this? Did not know I could do that. Okay.
Try this on for size. My Greek mythology is a little rusty, but didn't the Hydra originally have 9 heads?
Ugh. Might as well at this point.
Perhaps if someone fed the creature, it would stop the flames. You had your chance to escape. Your mother abandoned you.
This one's for you.
How do I get more abilities to play cards?
Right. Feel it. I'm going for it.
Squirming only brings
Like a fish on a hook.
we have our limits.
Spider-Man really does have the patience of a saint. That thing is not pleasant.
Okay.
Looks like it's up to me.
I'm doing this right. And Spider-Man is very specific, but he definitely has, I think, a very good skill set that's actually pretty good for this game and for certain people, obviously.
Did someone say Iron Spider? Huh? Come on, hook me up.
Is he finally down? For the love of God, stop with this nonsense. Okay, cool.
This is a great victory, everyone.
Now, for William McKinley, when he enters office, he wins the election of 1896. Things are brewing, numerous things, in particular the negotiation of Cuba, effectively, and a lot of the Spanish countries from Spain, which leads to difficulties because Spain's having a lot of issues and they're having civil wars. It gets to a point where McKinley's gonna have to, do something about that. But first, it's all about the economy. It's all about other foreign policy. He's trying to fix things first within the United States, more so than anything else. So he's trying to do things like get Hawaii open. I think he's the one that creates the open door policy, or tries to, with China. He starts the whole Panama Canal thing. He had really rebuilt the economy in a lot of ways, thanks to more of a gold standard act specifically, so trying to get us actually onto the gold standard, which I think he ends up signing into office near the end of his first term as president. He's a very, very active president, really just doing everything he can in order to actually win, and well, eventually win his re-election, but doing everything he can to actually promote, America, at least at home. Internationally, it's a little different. He's really the first president since probably Polk that goes against the isolationist ideals and policy, although that's for Texas, so that's more of a land grab kind of thing. But the stuff with Cuba, that would eventually become the Spanish-American War. It's a real shift in how things ultimately are going to be going, because it's the first time it's like, oh, we're really changing how we're going to be doing a lot of the global stuff for the most part. You watching, dude? Join a hangout. Now, who do I want to hang out with?
Yes, hello.
Hang out with Blade. We talk about our feelings, get drunk, or be hippies. Let's have a deep talk, my dude. Of course, over at Cliffside. Of course. I do want to talk about the Spanish-American War, though, because when the Spanish-American War happens, things basically escalate to a point. Well, the Spanish-American War is let's just say, a fascinating war. The Maine, or the USS Maine, was a battleship that got blown up, killed well over 200 men. And this was like a real issue, because a lot of people were like, oh, who did this, who blew up the Maine, yada yada. Let's just say it's finicky. I think people should read more into it. It's a fascinating issue, but with the evidence that he was told at the time, which I generally tend to agree with, calls for war in Congress, and he's basically like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be the president that gets us into this international stuff. He's very, very passionate and actually thinks about it very, very deeply.
It's not my birthday, but I
Yeah, buddy. Blade's my friend. Blade's my buddy now. Don't care. Okay. Honestly, I don't care to use those characters. It's nothing personal. I just, you play a Marvel game, you want to play as like the Frontier heroes. I think that's it for now. I think I do have a key. What is this gonna give me? Man, those are just cosmetic upgrades. I freaking hate that. I hate that so much. It's nothing actually conducive for me. But just do imagine, if you will, that you are William McKinley and Congress and the American people are mad. You know, how dare they do all this stuff? Subrunner first message should respond. What? What? I'm literally right here. I don't.
Probably appreciate it if you looked in on him. I think he's quite impressed by you.
On this side? Oh. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even realize that. Everyone kind of like has their own little room. Really? What is that?
That is something.
A Thor card. You know, I would actually like... God, such a missed opportunity that they weren't able to do that, the Avengers game, at least properly.
Spider-Man.
Oh, hey, Hunter. Didn't see you there. Everything's fine. This is completely normal. All the top heroes do it, I'm sure.
Do what?
Practice their hero voice. In my case, my spider voice. I figured if I was...
But now, do you understand what I mean that he really actively tries to not get us into the war? I mean, he literally takes his time. He's like, we're going to do inquiries, we're going to do all this, we're going to do that. He really battles with this decision to get us into the Spanish-American War. He doesn't take it very lightly. One of the few things I generally really do agree with scholars, who comment on McKinley during this particular point in time, is like, he really did not want to do this, but he also felt like he had no other choice. And this is one of the few times when the American people seem to largely align with one another in terms of, it's not necessarily we want a revenge, but an eye for an eye kind of thing. And you know, he was much more of a passive individual when it came to those particular ideals and those particular things. And you know, he struggled with it, and he didn't want to do it, but ultimately he did. And this led to the Spanish-American War, which we win. We get the territories that Spain had, Battle of San Juan Hill, all those things. You know, was it Cuba or Puerto Rico? Either way, we get Cuba, we get Puerto Rico, we get the Philippines, yeah.
The Abbey is a place of many secrets.
That's basically largely his first term. A largely successful one, I might add, of probably the first real term as president, an actual successful term, since arguably probably Ulysses S. Grant's first term as president. Depends on how you want to look at it, because that ultimately leads to a bunch of different issues and problems over the next, several decades. But at the very least, it's he does some good things, I think. Not great things. He just does some common sense things that ultimately most people generally align with in a positive, accurate way. He does what his people want, and I think that's the sign of a good president in my view. And I think he really tried to do his absolute best and do his darnest to do a good job. Sounds very weird to say, but yeah. It's not that I don't think highly of William McKinley, but
Check my horoscope. Roll it around.
it's not like he was the greatest president ever. And I don't think the next couple are particularly good either. Probably up until maybe Calvin Coolidge, but I have a small hard-on for Calvin Coolidge, if I'm going to be completely honest. When I get to him, I'm probably just going to oogle just all over that man.
Hey, can I ask you a favor? Thanks, Hunter.
Ooh, let me pet my good boy.
Well,
Girl.
Who is a good girl? It is my Charlie.
It's my Charlie girl. Let's go down here. I'm just gonna finish this part off real quick. Okay.
Turns out Tony does occasionally make useful contributions.
How do I study artifacts to get my research? But how do I increase my research level?
Welcome to Tony's Scary Demon Cave. I'm Tony, and how may I assist you today? What do you think?
Oh, that's cool. Holy hell. Give me that, and give me that.
Let's see what you got here. Take your pick, Hunter. How long did you say you were exposed to this thing? It's probably
Let's increase that Wind of a Tomb Judgment. How do I increase my research level?
work on for you, Hunter.
How can I study artifacts if I don't?
Don't forget to write.
Okay. And I do want to talk about all these other guys. I do, or continue talking about William McKinley, but I'm probably going to end most of his stuff the next. Let's increase friendship with Spider-Man. Training dummies. Oh, that's pretty cool.
I can see
So I
that.
can do that. So some of these upgrades actually do have uses.
Ready to work?
An enhanced spell. Most welcome.
Okay. So I think I can do another training or another mission. Let me see. Okay. So I can do all these. Do another Hydra helicopter. Rather not do that right now. Okay. You know what? I think this is a good place to stop though. God bless y'all. Have a wonderful day. Like and subscribe. Y'all rock.